In 1960, in a daring operation, the Israeli Mossad captured Adolf Eichmann in Argentina. Eichmann was entrusted and became obsessed with the extermination of the Jewish people. Every grisly detail of Hitler's final solution fell under his jurisdiction in the Gestapo. Adolf Eichmann was the architect of the Holocaust. The Mossad secretly kidnapped Eichmann and transported him to Israel. He stood trial, and the court rejected his defense that he was only following orders. Eichmann was sentenced to death, and on June 1, 1962, he was hung in a private and secret cell, his body cremated, and his ashes spread in the Mediterranean Sea beyond Israel's waters. Throughout this ordeal, there was a man who was charged with the task of guarding Eichmann, and who ultimately carried out his execution and cremation. For more than 40 years, the identity of this person was kept secret. Only after many decades did the world learn that the executor of Adolf Eichmann was Shalom Nagar, a Torah-observant Jew, born in Yemen, orphaned from both his parents at ages 6 and 8, made Aliyah to Israel at the age of 12. After his identity as Eichmann's executioner was made public, a German television station asked Mr. Nagar if he would do a story with them about the final moments of Eichmann. Nagar agreed to be interviewed, but he insisted that the filming take place at the Kollel, where he would study Torah daily. The German broadcaster suggested a studio without noise, without commotion, without people coming and going, with proper lighting, with proper equipment. Shalom Nagar was adamant. No, he would consent to do the interview only if the filming would take place in the Kollel, in the yeshiva, near his home in Israel. They didn't have a choice. The German TV station agreed, and the cameraman photographed all of the people learning in the Kollel before Shalom Nagar began answering questions and sharing his experience as Satan's hangman. Shalom Nagar recalled that special precautions were taken to protect Eichmann and ensure that he would not meet an untimely end either from Jews seeking vengeance or Nazi sympathizers who were eager to make sure Jews won't have the pleasure of hanging Eichmann. 5 cells were devoted to this one prisoner. He lived in the innermost one. Guards were posted in each of the 4 cells between Eichmann and the outside world. The responsibility for tasting Eichmann's food when it came from the cafeteria fell on Shalom Nagar. If I did not die within 3 minutes, he said, the food was served to Eichmann. He remembered his commander joking about the situation. He said, Nagar, if you die, we can replace you. But this prisoner can't be replaced. He described how he hung Eichmann, cremated him, and how his ashes were cast into the water in the middle of the night. He shared how he was haunted an entire year afterwards. He felt that Adolf Eichmann was pursuing him. He would turn around to see if Eichmann was not behind him. After a year, the dark visions disappeared. At the end of the fascinating interview, the German journalist asks Shalom Nagar why it was so important for him to be interviewed in this cramped house of study instead of in a studio where everyone would have been more comfortable and spacious. Shalom Nagar replied, I knew that this film would be broadcast on German television and seen by millions of people. I want the German people to know that not only did the Jewish people survive physically and we are here in Israel, but that we survived spiritually. Our Torah, faith, tradition, values, and connection to God are as strong as ever. I wanted everybody to see people sitting and learning the ancient texts of the Bible and the Mishnah and the Talmud and the codes of law and all of Jewish spiritual literature. Shalom Nagar passed away last month on the 26th of Cheshvan 5785, November 27th, 2024, at the age of 88. He had the great merit to rid the world of one of its most evil human beings. Shalom Nagar captured that most powerful verse in Psalms we say each day of Hanukkah in the Hallel. Lo amus ki Ahya ואספר מעשי. I will not die but live, King David says, and will proclaim what God has done. In each generation, our people, collectively and individually, have declared, I will not die, we will not die, but live and will proclaim what God has done. This is what we did after the Holocaust. This is what we shall do today again. Lo amos ki Axia, ואספר מעשי. Happy Hanukkah.